Hey, how you doing? My name is Ryan, and today I'm revealing my ranking for the best and worst LEGO MCU Spider-Man minifigures. Now, a couple of ground rules here. First, I'm looking only at Spider-Man in his suit, so no Peter Parker. Second, given the recent release of the Spider-Man No Way Home Liberty Battle set, which includes Peter 1, Peter 2, and Peter 3, I'm including other figures of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this ranking. And third, no Spider-Verse figures, as there has not been a LEGO set that's been branded as Spider-Verse, even though there have been Spider-Verse characters included in sets, and there should be Spider-Verse sets. I mean, a Penny Parker mech suit is kind of staring LEGO right in the face. But either way, let's start off with the ranking at number 16, the Tobey Maguire prototype Spider-Man suit. This figure has an okay design on the torso, but a bland costume in the movie makes for a bland figure. The balaclava idea is good, as are the contrasts with the white gloves. And I gotta give props to LEGO for printing a yellow face on a red head so early on and doing it rather well. But given the other figures released in this initial wave of Spider-Man sets, this one kind of feels too little, too lame. But how about number 15? It's the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man from What If. This figure rubs me the wrong way the more I look at it. It feels more like a Disney park performer suit than an MCU character. And even though the character this is based on is animated from What If, the entire design just feels too cartoony. This is possibly due to the bright shades of blue and red and the very bold black detail lines. Put all that together and add way too many of those detail lines, and you get a figure that ends up looking more like a knockoff than an official design. Also, the cape does nothing for me. Not only was it not included in the show, but it also covers up a rather complicated back design, which just seems counterintuitive. Moving up to number 14 is the Stealth Suit, featured in Spider-Man Far From Home. A solid variation on a Spider-Man suit, not just in texture, but also in feel. On the positives, it's really cool we can extrapolate the texture and material of this suit from the print job. It's pretty obvious that the head is sort of a thick cloth, and the body kind of has that Kevlar feel to it. But that being said, if you cover the eyes, this is barely a Spider-Man suit. It's another design pulled right from the movies, yes, but the movie design also, I think, wasn't that good. I've had friends mistake this figure for a member of the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles, and yeah, that's accurate. But how about number 13? Peter 3, otherwise known as Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, featured in the Spider-Man No Way Home Liberty Battle set. While this figure is in the more modern LEGO aesthetic, I think the design is a downgrade from the Comic-Con figure. The lack of texturing on the suit and the smaller eye shape make this figure kind of miss the mark for me. It doesn't really scream Amazing Spider-Man or feel distinct to Andrew, even though the logo is right there in the center. It just kind of feels like another Spider-Man minifigure. Moving up to number 12 is Peter 2, otherwise known as Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, again featured in the Spider-Man No Way Home Liberty Battle. The gray webbing and eyes do speak to the Tobey Maguire suit, but I don't think this comes even close to matching the visual impact of the original figures. Again, it is nice to have a Tobey Maguire suit in the newer modern LEGO style, and all three of them, Tobey, Tom, and Andrew, do look quite nice together, but I think the distinct visual style and costuming from each character needed to be kept from their original figures in order to make the impact that much greater that these characters pulled right from their earlier movies are now appearing alongside our modern Tom Holland Spider-Man. By making all the figures kind of feel homogeneous, it ruins that impact. But how about number 11, the inverted suit from Spider-Man No Way Home? I didn't think a black and gold Spider-Man suit would work, but the line weight and color contrast make this figure look pretty decent. The legs are a nice fit, and side note, those legs are fantastic at upgrading or fixing other Marvel figures. But the detailing in between the gold web pattern is a bit much, crowding this figure's torso. It's really trying to do too much on such a small canvas. But how about number 10, the half mask from the LEGO Spider-Man Museum Break-In set? I like this gimmick, even if the rest of the suit has been done before. The risk of printing light nougat on a red head is noticed, and I think it paid off. Even if, at the end of the day, the half-mask hood piece is a slightly better choice than a half-mask head print, I do respect this design, and I'm glad we have it. Moving up to number 9, the Andrew Garfield San Diego Comic-Con figure. Now, despite the minimal printing on the legs, there are some really nice touches on this figure. The texturing on the torso and leg flaps look incredible, but the real star of the show, and the part that makes this Spider-Man uniquely Andrew Garfield, is the eyes. Those eyes are big, bold, and beautiful, and part of the majesty of the Andrew Garfield suit are just how big those eyes are. I love the way it looks here, and the added dot texture inside the eye print is just the cherry on top. Compared to the 2023 version, it's really a shame that the better Andrew Garfield figure is still so hard to get. The newer figure almost feels like a consolation prize for those who didn't get the Comic-Con one, as the collector figure is still the better version in my opinion. Moving up to number 8 is the integrated suit from Spider-Man No Way Home. I think the gold detracts a bit from the black design here. The pop of color is appreciated and distributed throughout the suit, making it feel cohesive. And while the balance of color overall is nice, perhaps this design might have worked better without the gold, but more on that later. And if you're gonna use the gold, I think it would showcase better with another Spider-Man color. But more on that right now actually, with our number 7 pick, the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War. This figure has some of the boldest and saturated colors to grace an MCU Spidey, as the gold outline on the blue logo is dazzling. This color palette plays incredibly well with Spider-Man, with each shade accenting and increasing the appeal of the adjacent ones. The arm printing and leg design are a nice addition as well, however the leg's incomplete wrap does take some of the punch out of this figure's impact. The brick-built arms are fine, but I do wonder if LEGO will use thinner appendages if we ever get a revamp or remake of this minifigure. But how about my number 6 pick, Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 1. The original iteration of the Raimi Spider-Man suit is a spectacular first outing. The detail lines on the blue portion of the torso work well. The use of metallic silver on the body matches the raised webbing on the film costume, and even the varying shades of gray play well against each other. Kind of makes them visually stand out from all the other Spider-Man suits we have across the multiverse. And considering this was the first LEGO Spider-Man suit, it's just incredible. But it can be better with our number 5 pick, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man 2. Take the positives of the previous figure and add to it bolder, richer colors, better contrast, and a more accurate shade of blue for the suit. It's a small but greatly appreciated improvement. This is the definitive Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure for me. And I was really hoping we'd get this type of design for the No Way Home set, rather than taking this design and homogenizing it into the current modern MCU style. Because when you compare this figure to the 2023 version, it's no contest. The original is clearly better. Moving on up to our number 4 pick, the black and red Spider-Man suit from Far From Home. The red and black color profile looks incredibly clean and crisp. The white accent lines on the torso provide some details and contrast, but without lightening the black sections on the torso. It's a beautiful design that perfectly encapsulates one of my favorite design aesthetics from the MCU Spider-Man. Red and black looks really good both in the film and also in minifigure form. That's always great to see. But not as great as my number 3 pick, the Civil War Spider-Man suit from the Tanker Trucker Showdown. The first of the quote modern LEGO Spider-Man suits brings a level of detail and sophistication of color to launch Peter Parker into the MCU. While the film costume made quite a splash in Civil War, I think the LEGO counterpart is even better. Sporting a great torso, arm printing, dual-moded printed legs, and rims around the eyes to differentiate this Spider-Man from previous iterations. It's a well-done figure and a great introduction to the MCU Spider-Man. Moving on to my pick for runner-up, my number 2 Spider-Man suit, the Homecoming minifigure. Some fans complained that the Civil War figure variant sported the wrong logo, and LEGO listened. For the Homecoming wave, LEGO updated the torso not only to feature the correct spider emblem, but also refined the blue accents and line work on the chest to declutter it a touch. This is a great example of upgrading a minifigure without pulling back from what already works. You don't need to reinvent the book every single time, you just need to refine. But that leads me to my number 1 pick, the best LEGO MCU Spider-Man suit to date, the Infinity War suit from the 2022 Sanctum Sanctorum modular. The phrase "third time's a charm" is often used when the first 2 attempts are not good. But what happens when your first 2 tries are already pretty spectacular. Well, you get this beauty of a minifigure. Tweaked printing all around from the torso with thinner web lines and logo, arms with greater printing coverage, legs with added foot and belt printing, and a head with newer web patterning and larger, wider eyes. This Spider-Man figure has it all and knows how to do it beautifully. I was pretty skeptical when this figure was first announced as an exclusive to the Sanctum model, and when I got it, I liked it fine, but the more I looked at it and the more I compared it to other Spider-Man figures, the 2022 Infinity War variant of the Web Slinger is truly the greatest Marvel movie Spider-Man figure ever made. And there you have it, that's my ranking for the MCU LEGO Spider-Man suits from worst to best. But I'd love to know your thoughts. What's your favorite Spider-Man minifigure and which ones did I get entirely wrong? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.